My name is Mtandazomhao. I'm a small-scale miner from Zimbabwe district in Eskodin, Matebelen South. I've been in the mining industry for 17 years now. I started off as a contract miner who did not have a mining claim of her own. I was working in other people's mines with mining equipment, but I didn't have a claim of my own. So I would get into partnership with people with we had mining claims but didn't have equipment. So that's when I gained my experience in mining. There were so many challenges involved because most of the times the claim owner would just change goalposts and maybe doesn't honor the contract which you'd have agreed on from the onset of the project, especially when we start producing and we have good production. So that pushed me to pick my own place. I ended up picking my place in 2018, and I got my mining certificate rights in 2020. That's when I started working at my place. Because of environmental challenges I was seeing and environmental degradation that was happening in most mining claims, I started the process of exploration first. I had to hire guys from the geosurvey, private players who do geological surveys at the mine so that they locate exactly where the reefs were and how rich they were. So it took me another 2 years doing the exploration, and then I actually started sinking shafts last year in 2024. So now I have about 3 shafts at my mining site, and 2 so far we have managed to get where the reef is and starting to pay off. And there are so many challenges that women face in the mining sector because of financial constraints and the fact that sometimes some women cannot get in the shafts to see exactly what will be happening on underground where the laborers will be working. So sometimes they cheat you or they lie to you, but then because of that I managed to empower myself by going to the School of Mines to do basic training on fundamentals of mining for small scale miners, where I had to learn step by step what was really involved in the mining. And then I'm yet to acquire a certificate in blasting so that I know exactly what happens underground. And when I'm going to check the reef, I'll be knowing what exactly the guys will be saying and correcting where there needs to be correction. So it's a process where you need to be empowering yourself at the same time managing the project, at the same time producing to survive and to sustain the project. I'm seeing a lot of women do not have that courage to 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 manage those projects because of being not being capacitated. So that's one big challenge the government should really look into and help a lot of women miners. Besides the women miners, there are some also men who have also mining claims but are failing to work because of being incapacitated. The good thing about the mining industry is that when you start getting your yield, it is high returns. It's high risk and high returns. So if it's when you start producing well, you manage to sustain the family, to involve yourself in other projects besides mining, so that you seed your money elsewhere, because there's so many dynamics involved in the mining. The reef sometimes cannot be paying well, so that dry spell you'll be sustaining yourself using the other projects where you would have invested the money. But in Zimbabwe, what I encourage people is that the mining industry is the way to go. Mining and farming are the better sustaining projects so far in our country. As I was saying, that mining is capital intensive. There are times really where you put a lot of money but you don't recover it. I've been through that. A lot, and but you need to be courageous because sometimes when you're just about to give up, maybe we're about to be where your reef is paying off, and there are times where you got like places you where you get a pocket. And when you get a pocket, I'm talking of maybe getting to a point where your reef is paying maybe 500 to 1 kg, of which when we are talking of monetary value now, in Zimbabwe, a kg is plus or minus 100,000 US dollars. So that's why I'm saying the moment you get to that point where maybe you get a pocket or maybe your reef is paying, it's time that you take that money, don't plow it back to mining alone, but invest in other projects so that when the reef is not paying, those other projects can be sustaining your mining project at the same time. I've managed to take my kids to school. I'm taking them to school like now, and sustaining the family at large. It's not much, but you survive. Because even if, let's say, you're managing to get maybe 2 grams a day, now 2 grams is 200 plus a day. So if you calculate that, if I mean like me, I work 6 days a week at my mine. If I get 2 grams times 6, that's about 12 grams a week. So if you calculate that, it's a lot of money compared to maybe someone who's waiting for a salary, who's getting maybe $200 or $300. So that's why I'm saying mining is a sustainable business. It just needs you to be patient and focused.
So what are some of the losses that you've also experienced? You're talking about the benefits, but others may think that, oh, mining is a very risky venture and you may lose all that you have.
Yes, sometimes you can lose, like I was saying when I was still working at other people's mines. Maybe sometimes you invest money in opening a shaft where there is no reef at all. The moment you get to where the reef is now paying, maybe you start having disagreements, challenges with the mine owner, and you find yourself now being thrown out of the mining claim. All the costs you have incurred there, you cannot recover them. I've gone to a point, even at my mining claim, I got to a point where I invested plus or minus 7,000 US dollars, but I didn't recover that money. But you don't lose hope. I don't know, maybe I can say mining is a bit addictive somehow, because you always tell yourself, maybe, well, let me just keep trying. But then the good thing is, by trying, there's a time when the reef pays and you recover your monies back. So now I'm in the process of recovering those monies because my reef is starting to pay now.
Do you remember a time where you got, or what you can call your best produce at your mine?
So far, not yet, because I only managed to start getting something from the reef I'm working on now, some 2-3 months back. So that's why I'm saying I'm now in the process of recovery, because now I can mill every week. After milling, I can pay the workers at the same time, buy accessories to go back to work. It's like you be plowing, you reinvest that money back so that the project expands and production becomes more.
How much would one require to start a mining on their own?
For instance, if you're pegging a new place, the prospecting license is about $75, registration fee is about $300, and then the pegger, if you're paying the pegger, it's plus or minus $500, $500. And then after acquiring your certificate, you have to pay for an EIA at EMA. So that's about $240, somewhere there. So maybe with about 5,000, you can start mining. But as I was telling you, even there are some people who have a lot of mining claims who are not working on those claims, which are registered. Everything is legal and above board. Some people start off like that, just like I was saying, I started doing contract mining. There are some people who do tribute. If you do a tribute, there's a standard tribute agreement you can sign at the Ministry of Mines. That one is okay because you only give that person 8% of what you produce. And it gives you enough time and a capital to really continue that project, and at the same time look for your own place to pick, but you'll be working at that person's place. So, and then there's a non-standard one. A non-standard one is where you just agree on your own, that maybe the person says, no, I want 20% or 30% from whatever you produce. That one you also sign it through the Ministry of Mines, but the process takes long because it will have to come to the head office in Harare, and the Mining Affairs Board sits and then process that one. Whereas the standard agreement, you can be processed by the PMD at your local provincial office, and you can start working.
So the 5,000 that you talked about includes equipment, or
yeah, like maybe a compressor, because a compressor is plus or minus $2,000.
Yes. What words of encouragement would you want to tell someone who is maybe planning to mine or is already mining but struggling?
Yeah, what I can say is you really need to be focused. If you want to venture into mining, focused and patient, very, very patient. And you should be someone who's willing to learn something new every day in regards to the mining industry. There are so many things you have to know when you want to venture into mining. So like now, the good thing is information is now easily accessible through the social media, and you can Google, you can go to even to the School of Mines or Ministry of Mines to get information, and you can start something that you know. Whereas some people, when they started mining, they didn't know anything. Maybe it was just because that there was something which maybe Maria Duka, there was a place where it was there was a lot of gold, and they just pick without the real knowledge, and then they start working, and then they just face challenges along the way, but they will already be working. But now the information is easily accessible to everyone. There are so many things and people to guide you along the way.
Thank you.